That's this.
Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
Son working with you. Pressure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Shit. And...
Don't take my legs.
Oh, now I remember this. Okay, so I'm not the gentlest advice giver or critique.
You don't say.
So Forrest, I mean, he's my son, so he's been this way my whole life, so he understands when I say things like, hey, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
He takes it well. You know, most people, I'll make people cry in the shop. I've made several employees cry.
Male employees?
Yeah, they'll straight up cry because
Names?
I'm like, motherfuck, you're doing this wrong. Forrest is like, I'm sorry, okay.
Yeah, like
Or he'll
unfucks
just laugh at me.
it and moves on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
it works out really well just because, like I said, we're kind of the same person. You know what I mean? So we'll literally have an idea at the same time.
Right.
So it's really neat. You know, and I'm spending time with my son. It's
Yeah,
the
I
coolest
mean-
thing ever.
Well, I mean, it's
you
so
know?
cool on so many levels because that whole apprenticeship type of thing is such a
Exactly.
time-honored, you know,
Yeah.
like
And there's no
the
one
way
else,
to do it,
there's
and
no
then
one else
and then to
I
have
would
the
do it with.
Right.
I would not apprentice another human. It's just the way of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, Marissa was one thing in that she wasn't an apprentice. She was someone in my shop making knives, and I would help her along. But he's my actual apprentice.
right.
This will be his one day.
So is that the
And
plan?
when
to
I die
kind
at
of
200,
at 200 or how old are you?
for 51.
52 maybe. No, I'm kidding.
No, let's give it at least 2 years.
Yeah, please. I got kids that put through college. I need shit to sell. Make sure he can make knives before you kick off. But so what's what's going on in the future in terms of like, is it going to be kind of full force more into to running M Strider with you? I mean,
Yeah.
new
So-
models,
So with Forrest, he's got a big load in front of him in that he's got to learn how to A, run Strider knives, and B, run Mick Strider custom knives. You know what I mean? So I mean, obviously it's the same thing, but it's not because they're
No.
separate shops. You know what I mean? And there's separate things going on. The product line is similar in that we use the same parts, but it's a big difference. You know what I mean?
Right,
we do
right.
things completely different in our shop than we do in the Strider shop. It's strange but true.
Right,
because
right.
it never evolved until the separation. That shop never once evolved until the separation. It's evolving now because of all of the input we're given, but
Right.
it never evolved.
Well,
you
it's
know?
hard to. It's hard to.
playing
It's
catch-up.
It's hard to. That's what I was going to point out. It's hard to kind of improve and move forward when your
icon?
energy. Well, when your energy's being spent sustaining. You know what I'm saying? It's
Absolutely,
hard to
dude.
make the shit better while you're kind of like bailing water, make sure there's enough rations on board and
That's
everything
exactly
else,
it.
and
at
so
no
it's like
point-
it's hard
at
to.
no point in the history of Strider knives have we ever made enough knives.
No, I can attest.
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
so
because when we get the
always
fuck
play
you,
catch
how
up.
come we didn't get any? And I'm like, hey man, I got kids to feed and a wife that spends money like she's throwing it in the wood chipper. Like, I wish that they would have sent us fucking 500 of these so I could sell them
Exactly.
and eat, and I eat a lot. So, like, it's not like some many grand conspiracy. There's never been enough to go
There's
around.
never been enough.
Yeah.
We're trying to work on that now.
Yeah, and I know
But,
that I noticed in talking with John, there's still military stuff going on,
Absolutely.
right?
Still doing contract stuff. Still doing all the award knives. That's something that people don't really realize about us. I don't think because we don't ever advertise it. Is that we do at least 20 military award knives. And when I say 20 military award knives, I don't mean 20 knives. I mean 20 different military
Right.
awards. Every year we're applying 10 knives to, or 20 knives to, or whatever, along with retirements and all that kind of stuff. So we're flowing a lot of product out there that people don't really realize.
Yeah, and that's
aside
all-
from all the super secret
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's
And that's always I've got to kick about. The internet being the internet. There's always somebody talking shit and pontificating
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever, right? And I kind of always laugh, and I don't even know. I like not like I'm totally behind the curtain or something, but I know where a lot of these things are going and who they're going to, and it's just so
Yeah.
funny. It's like you got all your opinions, but
yeah.
the guys that are doing the fighting and dying have their opinions,
Yeah.
and that's what they want.
Exactly.
So like, without
Opinions
making
are like
it,
assholes, dude.
Yeah,
Every
like-
single person's got one.
so without, what have you, it's like, hey, those guys that those knives are for are entitled to make their decisions, and that's
Yeah.
that's the gear that they want. So
Exactly. And it's funny, the internet is a blessing and a curse.
right,
You can learn a lot on the internet, but it doesn't mean it's real.
right,
You know what I mean? So it's all the tabloid shit. It's funny that so the tabloid shit's what, 20 years old now, and it comes around every 3 years or so. New people come in and they read the internet and like, motherfucker.
Mick was on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, Mick was on the grassy knoll. That son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, I was.
Yeah.
You want to think that? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, and it's again behind. The
interesting thing is, every hater brings us so fucking much work, dude. It's every person that hates us brings us at least 100 new customers. It's the greatest thing ever because they're going like this: Strider. So people look at Strider and they go, "Oh, that's fucking
cool.
awesome."
Yeah.
That's some man shit right there. I need that.
Yeah, and there is a thing, it's not the Walmart customer service where our mutual buddy John at SOE, Willis is kind of the same thing. It's like, fuck you, I got awesome customer service, but I'm not going to put up with your shit. Exactly. We're not Walmart. You can't bring, you can't eat half a jar of mayonnaise and bring it back and get your,
right,
and get your, But like,
I mean, we'll do some crazy shit. We'll fix your knife, but don't be stupid about it.
Yeah, don't
lie.
Demanding.
We know your knife didn't come like that.
Right.
We always put the screws in the right way when we do it. Don't send me your knife and say, hey, it came like this. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Just say, we've only done, I don't know how many thousands of these. We didn't just mess up yours and put the screws in backwards.
Yeah, just a Friday afternoon knife or something. So
it's funny though. It's all just business.
Yeah.
The epic thing is that we're in an industry where everybody that's our competition is our friend.
Right.
We've got a whole giant room full of our friends here.
Right.
And it's a really kind of a cool thing. We really lucked out. First of all, we lucked out in that we kicked a hole in the industry that didn't really exist, and we've been trying to fill that void the whole time. The tactical knives were just black. That's what made it tactical back in the day.
Well, especially in terms of any sort of kind of manufacturer. You got guys like Bob Terzula that was kind of blazing, but on an individual level. But there wasn't a company making that type of
when we
product.
first started out, half the people, or more than half the people, were like, "Oh, well, that's just a sharpened pry bar." Yes, it is.
Yeah,
because exactly sometimes what that is.
You need
a sharpened pry bar.
Yeah, and that's what I get a kick out of. I've always said this about knives. For some reason, people have a weird, people can accept that there's a screwdriver that's made to adjust your eyeglasses,
right?
And then there's one like this that's for a Caterpillar, tractor or something like that, and they can accept the fact that for this tool you get, for this job you use this tool, but for some reason with the knife they can't draw that connection, right? So they go, it's a sharpened pry bar, right? Don't cut your apples with it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not going to fillet a fish with it. It's a different type of tool for a different type of thing. Doesn't make it better, doesn't make it worse.
We like to use the term problem-solving tools.
Yeah, even
when
you
buy a knife? Yeah, it's really a problem-solving tool.
Even when you buy a fucking set of kitchen knives and they come in a block, there's 6 or 7 of those things in there for doing different things. And for some reason with knives people can't wrap their head around that. They they want the biggest, gnarliest Strider model there is, and then it won't shave my hair, or it won't, it won't slice a newspaper, and it's
exactly. The cool thing though, if you think about it, is that knives are really man's first real tool. I mean, there's a stone, there was a stick, there was all that shit, but then someone napped out a knife, right? And all of a sudden it became part of us.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, it's a part of humanity, knives.
Right.
So that's why everyone has such an opinion about it.
It's so emotional. It becomes an emotionally driven thing rather than They don't look at it the same as they do a screwdriver. They can intellectually because they don't have feelings about the screwdriver.
Exactly.
They go, I need a big one or I need a small one.
And because it's a primal thing, people's personality becomes involved. So if you're a knuckle dragon ape, then you're like, oh, that's the coolest knife ever. I need it to be big. I need it to be strong. I need it to be awesome. But if you're not a knuckle dragon ape, you're like, well, what the hell? Who would ever use that? They can't make the They can't cross the bridge.
Yeah, they can do it when deciding what to eat for lunch. That doesn't suit my appetite right now.
Exactly.
But for some reason with the knife, it's a really strange thing. And over the years retailing Strider knives, it's funny because you can always kind of tell your first Strider buyer sometimes, right? There's a sheet. For a $400 knife, there shouldn't be a scratch on it from the sheet. Well, you're not paying $400 for finish work. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like you're paying because of what it is. Just like, I always do the Escalade versus a Humvee. They're both expensive SUVs, two totally different things. You're not
Exactly.
going to buy your new Humvee and go like, hey, there's a mark on the clear coat or something, right? But it's funny over the years in seeing that, and what always drives us nuts as selling them is that you can't turn something into something that it's not. You
Exactly.
can't, you can't take the Humvee and go like, hey man, the ride's rough. I really wish the stereo was better. There's
Yeah.
road noise.
You put some Cadillac suspension on it?
Like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's
Yeah.
like, and that's fine. If this isn't what you want, then
don't buy it.
There's other brands that are more suited to what you want. Just like if I want, like if you don't want tacos, don't go to the fucking taco stand.
Wait. Who doesn't want tacos?
Oh, I mean, wrong people.
Okay.
Wrong people. The internet.
Sure.
But so no, it's been a cool journey, and it's been a real pleasure, even just being a small part of it, and kind of and seeing how it works, and getting behind the curtain as much as I do, and working with Josh over the years,
Yeah.
and seeing the evolution. And like I said, I can tell that just by looking at your work and what's been coming out, like I'm like, he's fucking in a good mood, because and sometimes when stuff doesn't show up as much, and Mick's building a motorcycle for 6 months, I'm like, oh, Mick's not in a knife mood right now. Like Mick's in motorcycle mood, so. And I think it's awesome that the apple is not falling far from the tree. So we're looking forward to seeing Forrest input and stuff.
Absolutely.
And, as things go on. So as his as maybe he evolves into doing his designs, and and getting his stuff and folding into the company, I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, we're real excited, man. It's really neat because it literally has re-injected life into what we're doing.
Right.
Bringing him in, because he's got so many new ideas that have just escaped me because I've been focused on something else.
Yeah, a new set of eyes is
Absolutely.
a big deal.
It really is,
yeah,
man. I'm super excited about these textures we've been doing, and it's just evolving our product means so much to me. It's really neat. You know what I mean? I used to focus a lot on new knife designs, but nobody wants any new knife designs. What they want is what we make.
It is interesting that it's kind of, and you see that again, knives are not so different, different and not so different from other things. It's funny because I'm kind of a guitar guy too, right?
Yeah.
You'll see, like Fender will come out with they want a fucking Telecaster or a Strat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If it's a Gibson, it's either an SG or a Les Paul.
Exactly right.
Maybe some other stuff, and it's like I can understand, maybe that's frustrating on like from a designer or a producer standpoint. It's like, hey, don't you want vanilla with cinnamon? Like, no, we want what we want. But by the same token, how many people get in that position to have an icon like that? To have a Porsche 911, where you look at it, for 50 years it's been quote unquote the same. Like whereas other car companies, it's they're every year they're trying to get you excited again. Whereas Porsche's like, hey man, it's 911.
Exactly.
And
that's something that's really comforting to us, is that we never have to chase anything.
Right.
The only thing we're chasing is making enough product.
Right.
We're not chasing the industry. We're just trying to make enough product, man. We're trying to
Tell
do
me
our
about it.
best, make more, make enough.
Yeah.
We're just lucky as can be, dude, for real. And luck goes hand in hand with the real hard fucking work.
Right. Yeah. I mean, luck's nice when you can get it, but it
Yeah.
it doesn't. You definitely can't count on it. You know what I mean? And it's nothing unless you have the gas to back it up.
Yeah.
The gas to go in and
another
work.
funny thing about this industry is that people at these shows, it's strange in that 3-4 days out of the year you're famous, right?
Right.
And then every other year you're some sweat hog behind a grinder.
Yeah.
It's funny, people don't realize the amount of work involved in this stuff. It's just constant, hard freaking work. Who said it awesome was Chris Reeve, in that the only thing you need for being a knife maker is a giant bucket of elbow grease.
Yeah, and it's true. Well, and we've been in a weird time in the knife industry, not to pontificate, but we've kind of been in what I've called, the internet stock boom, or the real estate boom, or the Seattle music boom, where where it's like anytime where something kind of gets a bunch of attention, it's all of a sudden like, well, fuck it, I'll wear flannel shirts and hang my guitar low,
absolutely.
and then all of a sudden it's like, well, wow. Now, when the glow goes away, now it's actually work.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a van with 5 other dudes,
exactly.
Traveling to play for 200 people or something.
Makes knife making easy. The internet makes knife making so easy. When we started doing this stuff, when Gwen and I first formed Strider Knives 25 years ago, we did 30 shows a year.
Because you had to.
There's only 52 damn weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We did 30 shows a year, to try to get our name out there.
Right.
And eventually we did, and then the internet hit.
Right,
You know?
right. Well,
and I
and
could have
that's
been a knife maker overnight, but
Yeah.
it's because we had that work ethic that we're here today. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
and I think that's, you know, like a lot of these guys, if I go back to the music analogy again, and I'm not besmirching anybody in particular, but this hall is full of people that was like, hey man, I'll wear the flannel shirt, I got signed to a label, and
Absolutely.
then as the bloom starts to come off the rose and the market's not what it was, and the cream's rising, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, actually this is hard work. I don't get to just sell everything I make as soon as I make it.
Yeah.
People fist fight to give me their money.
Exactly.
You know, like now.
I've made 2 knives, and this one's up for auction.
Yeah, like, you know, God bless them. I don't,
awesome for
you know,
them,
yeah, like make
but
the
they're
money,
gonna
but
kill their career.
yeah, but like if you want to be doing this shit 25 years down the road, you might want to look at the bigger picture,
Exactly.
you know, like build a real career.
And
so.
what's ridiculous is that we're even talking about this because I was supposed to be dead at 25.
Yeah, tell me.
You know?
Yeah. You never think. Yeah, you never think you're gonna get. No dude ever thinks they're gonna get old
Nope.
for some reason.
It's funny,
you know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
And like no dude thinks they're gonna ever get old, and no dude ever thinks that they're not still hot. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, yeah, I could get her or something. Like, no,
Oh,
you're
totally.
You're a fat old man now, man. You're nothing. You ain't got no mojo anymore. So.
That's why I need young parts.
Yeah. You need all the parts. No. So hey, man, I know, you know, it's funny. I've tried to get you on camera, and I know that it's not your thing, but I wanted the big bad internet to hear it straight from the horses and Horses Junior's mouths about what's going on with Strider knives.
Oh, dude,
I mean,
we're
we've
more
always had,
powerful than ever.
you know,
We're
we've
hitting it
always had
hard.
our pat answer, like, hey, restructuring, changing the directions, and
Yeah.
you know, and explain it to them, and then they go, yeah, but are the knives fake? Yes, because
Yeah,
that's
they're
what we
totally
did.
fake,
We went
yeah.
to China, you know, as soon as Mick decided to stop making knives, we're like, hey, we're a big Strider dealer, we're gonna go get a bunch of fake knives and sell them. Fucking solid business plan, you know, that'll put my kids through college. So I'm glad to drag you out of the cave. I appreciate
No,
it,
dude,
man.
we're golden. Dwayne's golden. We're just rocking, dude.
That's awesome.
Everything's just powerhouse right now. We're killing it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
man.
Looking forward to it, and you know, thanks again for the years of friendship and business relationship. Love it.
I'm
stoked.
Absolutely,
Glad to
brother,
see
man.
Forrest in here. So hey, that's Brady from Monkey Edge with. You guys, is he taller than you?
Yeah, he is. Look.
Holy
I
shit!
know, right?
You guys can't even see me. Anyway, fucking get me back on camera. Hey, so it's Brady from Monkey Edge, live from the Shore Blade Show 2018 with the pair O Striders. You heard it all here. New stuff, cool stuff, more awesomeness coming your way. Ain't going nowhere. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Oh, like father, like son.